Hello everyone, I'm Sunil. I welcome you back to my YouTube channel Tech Basics. So in the last video, we have discussed about array of characters in C language. So when you talk about array of characters, we are basically talking about strings. So string we can define as a group of characters, or it is a sequence of characters that is treated as a single data item and terminated by null character. So what we have seen in the previous video was when we enter a string called hello, it will be stored in our system as HELLO followed by a null character. So this null character will be placed at the end of the string to indicate that this particular string ends over here. So if you are going to store hello, then you require a of 0 to a of 5 number of locations. So that is, in order to store a string of 5 characters, you require the memory equivalent to 6 characters and so on. Like so here, if you see, if I take an array a and then I need to say a of 6 so that I can store a string which can have maximum of 5 characters and so on. So these are called the subscript variables and these can be the addresses. So we also have seen how is that we can declare and how is that our string gets stored in our memory locations. So if I say character name of 10, I can store each character, here quotation is required, HYDERABAD, and then it will be followed by null character. So if you explicitly try to store character by character in an array, then you are supposed to store the null character also. But if you try to accept the data from the system, nothing but if you try to accept a string from the system, then automatically your software will try to put this null character at the end of the string, and that is to indicate that your string ends over there. So we have also seen a program wherein we can accept a string and then we can display it character by character. So today what we'll do is we'll try to declare and accept a string. So we'll try to understand over here how is that I am going to accept a string, and then how is that I can accept a string with spaces. So these are the two things that we'll try to understand, followed by how to work with the strings and all we'll try to discuss today. So if you declare an array, character array of 20, then if you want to accept a string, you can say scanf %s, and then you are going to just write the name of the variable. For this, we don't require ampersand. Why we don't require ampersand? In the next video, when you talk about pointers, we'll get the clarity, more clarity on that and so on. So just accept a string over there and then print the string. So here it will take a string, it will add null character to the end, and it will display the string, which can be of maximum 19 characters over there, because the 20th character has to be given to null character and so on. So let's try to do this. Apart from that, if you want to accept a string which can have spaces in the middle, then you are supposed to write scanf, you are supposed to say %, and then within the square bracket you are supposed to use *n. Here C supports edit set conversion code %, and then within this square bracket you are supposed to write followed by \n. So let's try to understand how do we accept a string with spaces, and then how do we accept a string without spaces, and then how do we display them. So let's try to do this with the help of our online compiler, that is repl.it. So go with the online compiler over there. So there you can choose the language that you want to create REPL. This is what we were doing since the beginning of this particular course. So what is that we'll try to understand here is, I will try to declare an array of 20 characters, anything you can take over there, and then give a message to the user saying printf enter a string, and then you can accept a string over there by using scanf. You can say %s, just say a. Okay, in the similar way, you print whatever string that you have accepted. Accepted string equals to %s, you can display the value. So this is how you can accept a string and you can display the string. So you can give over there some name. So give some name and then your name will be displayed and so on like. So this is how you can accept a string. Now in this case, if suppose say I give a string with spaces, so then here you are bound to have output as only Hyderabad. So it will stop whenever a space is encountered. So, but if I want to accept a string with the spaces in the middle, then I need to make use of here, I should say %\n. Okay, so as I have shown you over here, you need to make use of this, and then you can accept the value of a. While displaying, you can directly display by saying %s. So now you can enter over here Hyderabad is in India and so on. So then you can try understanding how this particular, just try this, Hyderabad is in. So now it will display the string, okay, with the spaces in the middle and so on like. So it is going to accept multiple spaces within your string, and then it will display the string the way it accepts and so on like. So this is how you can accept a string without a space, and you can accept a string with the spaces in the middle and so on like. This is all possible because of the edit set conversion code that we have in C language. So then we have we'll try to write some programs over here, but before that we'll try to understand what are the various string functions that we have in C language. So we got some ready-made string functions in C language. What you call them as string handling in C. So you can perform some operations on the strings with the help of these particular functions. So whenever you try to make use of these functions, like you call it as string length, you call it as string copy and so on, whenever you make use of any of this particular function in your program, you are supposed to include a file now, the header file called string.h. String.h is compulsory over here because the definitions of all these functions will be available to us in that particular file. So what is that we'll do? We'll try to understand the various functions which are associated with the string and the functionality of each of this. So for example, say you got a function called strlen, that is to say string length. It calculates the number of characters in a given string. So it is going to calculate how many number of characters are there in a given string, excluding the character called null character. So if you are going to say HYD, then it will say the length of the string is going to be 3. In the similar way, you got a function called strcpy, a comma b. So normally what we do is whenever you want to assign a value, that is a number to a variable, we can directly say a equals to 100. But the same thing is not possible when you try to do it with the help of strings. So for that, what you need to do is you need to say strcpy. Okay, so you can say here a comma b. It means that is the second string will be copied into first string, and then the value will be stored in first. Copies the value of b to a. So you can do it with the help of strcpy. In the similar, this is to copy a string. In the similar way, if you want to join two strings, for example, say you have Hyderabad and you have India, then if you want to join these two, you can say string concatenation, strcat. This stands for concatenation. Concatenation is basically to say join the strings. So you can say strcat a comma b. It joins the value of b, the string present in b, to a, and the result will be stored back in A. For example, say if A is Hyderabad and B is India, then India will be joined with Hyderabad and the result will be stored back in variable A. Similarly, you have strcmp. This is to say string compare A comma B. So here comparison of the string will not happen with the help of length of the string. It will happen with the help of alphabet. So alphabetical order it will try to display. In the sense, it will compare with alphabetical order. Like we have the strings in the dictionary, the same way it will try to compare the strings given over here. So you can say strcmp A comma B. So what it will do, it will compare the value of A with the value of B, and the result of this can be either 0 or negative number or a positive number. So if the result of this is happening is 0, then it means the value of A and the value of B is the same. But if the result is going to be negative, it means that your first string value is smaller than second string. If it is positive, meaning of that is your first string is greater than second string. This is what we are talking alphabetically. So Z, if second string starts with Z and the first starts with A, the first string is smaller than second string. If the first starts with Z and the second starts with A, then we can say first string is greater than the second string, and so on. Similarly, we have strrev. This will try to put the string in the reverse order. So if you have hyd, dyh will be the output of this, and so on. So let's try to do some practice on this. Let's try to execute all these string functions. Then we can write some programs and then we can go for solving of some exercises over here. So what I'll do is I'll take two strings over here, A of 20 and then I'll say B of 20, and then I'll take one integer variable also, because sometimes you get the result, it's numeric result. And then what is that you need to do is you first accept two strings. So you can give a message to the user saying enter first string, whatever message of your choice you can give there. Then you can accept by saying scanf %s. Then you can accept the value of A. Similar things you can do for accept the second string. So you can say printf enter second string, and then you can say scanf %s. You can say B. So you have accepted two strings now. What is that you want to do now? You want to go with all the functions that we have discussed, starting with a function called strlen. So what you do over here is try to display the length of first string. So you can say r equals to strlen of A. So what happens over here? When I say strlen, it will try to find out the length of the string A. Length over here means how many number of characters are present in A, excluding the character called the null character, and the result will be stored in R. But when you type this, you will see that there is some error which is shown over here in the green color mark. Okay, so this is all because we have to include on the top a file called string.h. So when you do so, when you include this particular file, then you will see that that particular error has been taken out. Now what do? You try to display here. What is that you display? Length of string equals to, that is string A equals to %d. You can display the string length which is calculated, or which you got it with the help of strlen. So try to display the value of this particular variable called R. So what is that you are doing? You are accepting two strings. We don't require the second string in this case. You are accepting two strings and then you are trying to find the value of the first, that is the length of the first. If you want, you can also calculate the length of second. So do it one by one. So you require only one variable for that to store the data, not a problem. So you can say string length of B. Okay, let's try to execute this. So it will say enter the first string. So you enter the first string, whatever string you like over there. And then it says enter second string. To enter the second string, and then you will find that the length of the first string, that is Hyderabad, is equal to 9, and the length of second string, that is India, is equal to 5. So what you can do here is you can use \n so that you will get the result onto the next line. So try to redo that. You enter Hyderabad and then any other string that you want. So you get the result as length of the string A is 9. Here I have to give length of string B. I'll redo this. So length of string A equals to 9 and length of string B equals to 5. So this is how the function called strlen will work, and then it will calculate the number of characters in the given string. Remember, it will not take into account the string, that is the end character, which is null character. So this is how you can calculate the length of any given string. Now what we'll try to do is we'll try to copy the value of second string into first string. Let's try to do this. So you can just say strcpy a comma b. So what it means for us, the value that is present in B will be copied in A, and then the value of A and B will be the same. So what do you do after this? You just say, that is A equals to %s, B equals to %s, and then you can display the value of A, value of B, and so on. So try execution of this. So what we are doing here, we are accepting two strings over here, and then we are copying the value of second string to first string. What you can do is you can display these values before you copy. Okay. Before you copy, you display the value of A, value of B, and after you copy also you display the value of A and value of B. So the first string I give is HYD, the second string I give is India. So then what happens? The first time it displays the value of A as it is as HYD and B equals to India, whereas second time if you see, that is after we make use of this function called strcpy, if you see the value of A and value of B is one and the same, because we have copied the value of B into A and so on. So this is how you can make use of the function called strcpy. Okay. Next we'll go with the function called string compare. How is that we are going to do this? So again, accept two strings and then you try to compare these two strings. So A comma B. So when I compare, what we said, we are going to get the result which is a numeric value. Okay, so let's try to understand and what value we get and so on. %D, you can just say R. You can say result of this operation, result equals to %D R. So what is that we are doing here? You are accepting a string, then the second string, then you are comparing the first string with the second string, and the result of this you are trying to put in a integer variable. As we said, we are going to get the result as a 0 or negative number or positive number. So try to execute this. So it is going to check alphabetically. So I'll enter the value for, and redo this. I'll enter A as the value of first string, and then I'll enter the value for the second string as D. So alphabetically, which string is smaller? If we try to understand, A will come first in the dictionary and D will come next in the dictionary. So the one which comes first in the dictionary is considered as smaller, and the one which comes next in the dictionary will be considered as largest number or largest string over here. So here what happens now, A value is lesser than B value. So in that case, your result is going to be negative number. So you got a negative number as the result. Result is -3. Try to do it in the reverse way. You put D as the first string, A as the next string, and then you will see your result is going to be a positive number. And then you try to put both the values as A. Then what happens? Your result happens to be 0. So your result equals to 0 indicates that both the strings that you have given are equal. But if your result is different, like A, and then second string as D, the result is going to be negative number. Meaning of that is your first string is smaller than second string. And why you got -3 over here? That is because the difference between A and D. Okay, so you can calculate alphabetically, or you can go with the ASCII values of this. So the ASCII value for small a will be 97, and the ASCII value for D will be, B will be 98, C will be 99, and D will be 100. So 97 minus 100, you are going to get the result as -3. Or else in alphabetically also, the difference between A and D is going to be 3. So here it is -3 because the first string is smaller than the second string. Do it in the other way. Give it in this fashion, D and A. Then the result will be +3 because the difference is 3. Okay, and then plus because our positive number because the first string is larger than second string. So if you want to write that, what you can do here is you can write if condition. If r equals to, if the value of r is 0, then you say printf both the strings are, you can give a message as both the strings are equal. If r less than 0, you can give a message string A is less than B. So when you will write this, when r is less than 0. Similarly, if r value is greater than 0, r value is greater than 0, A string is greater than B string, and so on. Try execution of this. A. So the result over there. Okay, I have given different value there. A. Now you see result is 0. Both the strings are equal, it says. Okay, so here also I'll enter backslash. Similarly, I'll enter the first string as A and the second string as D. So first string is smaller, so the result is -3, which means less than 0, which means the first string is smaller than second string. Similarly, you can enter the first string as D and second as A, then you will see it is +3, which means first string is greater than second string. So this is how you can find out which string is smaller and which string is larger, and so on in alpha, that is in terms of dictionary order, which is alphabetical order. So this concept we require whenever you try to put the names or the strings in alphabetical order. Like we have done a program of ascending order, we can also write a program over here in order to put all the given names or the strings in alphabetical order. Okay, so the next function that we have is we have a strcad and then string reverse. So what is that you do for that? Strcad, you again require concatenation, means you require two strings over there. So you can take up two strings first, accept two strings over there, and then you can say strcat, and then you can write a comma b. What is the meaning of this? Copy the value of second into first. That is, copy in the sense join the value of second into first or with first. So which means A value will be added with B value and the result will be stored back in A. So what do you do now? You display here printf A equals to, you can say %s, B equals to, you can say %s, and then you can display the value of A and B. So you can do this before you work on this particular function, and you can do this after you work on this particular function. So you display A and B value before you make use of strcat, and you display it after you make use of strcat. So then try to execute this particular program. You say Hyderabad over there, you say India. So you get initial value as Hyderabad and India. Now the second, after you make use of this particular function called strcat, you get the value of A as Hyderabad, India. It is combined because strcat will concatenate, which means it will join the value of the second string with the first string. Second string will remain as it is, whereas the joined value will be stored in the first string. Okay, so the last one that we have is we have a function called string reverse. So for string reverse, I don't require two strings. I require only one string over there. So I'll not use the second string. You can knock out this and then accept a particular string. You try to display this string equals to %s a. Try to display that and then make use of a function called strrev and then you can say a, strrev a. Put the result back in a itself. So here a we have taken, wherein you are going to find out, or you are going to reverse strrev. You are going to reverse this and then you are going to display this. So what you can do here is you can as well write like this. You can say printf %s and then you can write this strrev of a. So this is how you can try this. Okay, so execute this particular function over there. There is a warning over here because of we making use of this particular function called string function over there called strrev. This particular compiler is not supporting this particular function called strrev. So we'll try to work, you can try to work with this particular function, okay, called strrev using some other compiler. There are lots of compiler available. Okay, so you can try making use of some other compiler and then just check whether this particular function called strrev is going to work or not over there. Okay, so this is just going to put your string in the reverse order. So now that we know all the functions which are related to strings, we'll try to work out with some of the programs which are given over here. So what the first program is? The first program is to accept two strings and we have to demonstrate working of all the string functions. So now that we have already done this, wherein we have taken two strings and then we have performed how to work with strlen, copy, cat, compare and then reverse. Okay, we'll skip this. We'll go for the next one. Accept 10 strings and a string to search. Display the position if the given string is in the list. Okay, so this is a program that is related to searching of strings. Okay, so let's try to do this. So here in this case, you are now going to accept 10 strings. So how is that you are going to declare now? You are going to say a of 10 of 20. What it means for us, let's understand that. So it means you can accept 10 strings over here and then each string can have maximum of 20 characters. So what is the meaning of this? You can accept 10 strings and each string can have maximum of 20 characters. So try to take that. And you want to take one string to search. So you can take one more string variable over there. So A will be an array containing 10 strings. S will be an array containing one string. So then we'll try to compare whether S value is present in A or not. If so, then we'll try to display the position. So you can say integer I. We have done this searching program with the help of numbers. Now you try to do it with the help of strings. So you can give a message to the user saying over there, enter 10 strings. So how is that you are going to accept? For I equals to 0, less than 10, I plus plus, you know this now. And then you will say scanf %s a of I. So a of I means what? It is going to accept a of 0 value which can be of 20 characters, a of 1 value which can be of 20 characters, so on. It will accept 10 number of strings over there. Then you can give a message to the user saying enter a string to search. Okay, so in that case you can say scanf %s. You can say s is the string that you want to search. So you have a array with 10 strings and you have an array with one string. So sorry, you have a variable with one string. So what is that you are going to do? You need to find out whether this string is available in this array or not. So for that, what do you do again? You try to compare. So you run a for loop again because you have to compare all the strings over there. Okay, and then what is that you do? No semicolon here. Yeah, what is that you do here? If you know that you cannot compare by saying equal to equal to. So for that, what you need to do is you are supposed to say string compare a of I with s. So you are going to compare in this fashion. So what it means for us, string compare a of I, that is array you are comparing with this particular string, and if the result of this is going to be 0, so you write here, if the result of this particular operation is going to be 0, okay, that means what? Your string is available. So what you can do in that case, you can just say break over there. Break indicates what? Your for loop is going to stop because you got a string which is available in the given array. So break over there. For example, say when the value of I is 0, if the strings are equal, then it will break over there. So when value of I is 0, if you break, meaning of that is your string is present at first position. So you cannot say position at 0. So you are supposed to display over there printf string available at %d position. So what is this %d over there? It is I plus 1 and not just I. Remember that, because you cannot have a position as 0 position and so on, like. Okay, so you can just say printf string available at %d position. So if I value is 0 and if the comparison gives a result as 0, it means you will break over here, which means your string is present at a of 0 position, nothing but the first position. Otherwise, okay, so when is that you are going to say your string is not available? You can say if the value of I double equals to 10, then you can say then you can give a message to the user saying the string is not available. So why I am writing this? So if I value equals to 10, it means what? I value equals to 10 means you have come out of this particular for loop after comparing a of 0 till a of 9, and you could not get the string over there. So when value of I is 10, by default you will come out of this particular for loop, and that means your string is not available. So try execution of this. So I'm trying to give a simple strings over there like A, B, C. It's not that you need to give in sequence, it's your choice how is that you want to give. You can give it the way you like. Only thing is you provide 10 strings over there. So after you provide 10 strings, then you enter a string and you compare them. So enter a string. Now if I give Z, what it will do is it will compare with A not equal, B not equal, C not equal, D not equal, E not equal, that is H not equal, J not equal, it is equal over here. So in that case, it will say that your string is present at 7th position. So check here, first position, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7th. So why we have written here I plus 1? Because if it is available at first position, you should not say it is at 0 position. So for example, say, if you have strings like this, and then if I say AA, my position should not be 0, it should be 1. So for that, what we have done here is, whenever the string is equal, you will stop the process of comparing and you will say it is present at I plus 1 position. So when I say AA is available at the first position. So see this now. So run the program there. String is available at first position. So you got the output in that fashion. So this is how you can say, or you can compare a string with the given number of strings. Okay. I'm just redoing that and I will show you that you can also get the message if the string is not available, how you get the message. Now I'll enter here a character, that is a string called AAA, which is not there in our list. So what happens? It will compare with A of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So when it compares with all the numbers, and if the string is not available, it will not go with the break statement over there, which means you have not found that particular string. So the message that you have to get is string available at 11th position, so which is not valid because you don't have 11th position. So what you need to do, you need to see that that particular message is not given, and you just need to give a message saying string not available. Okay, so how you get that message, how you remove that message? So here you can say, if the value of your I is greater than 9. If it is greater than 9 means what? You have compare all the numbers. Okay, if it is greater than 9, it is not available, otherwise it is available at a certain position. So just try to execute this again. So you enter a string which is not available. So now it says string not available. That's all. Because the value of I is 10, which is greater than 9, and you will not get back the message as you got in the previous case. Just try to see this again. We try to execute. You give a string which is available now, say W, which is available at second position. So you get a message saying string available at second position. Okay, you try to solve this particular problem. That is, you try to write a program for this wherein you just need to accept 10 strings and you have to display the number of times the given string is present in the list. Here we have just searched whether the string is available. Now you try to search how many times that particular string is available, and also try to write this particular program which is similar to that of your ascending order program. Okay, I will try to do this exercise in our next video. Thank you.